Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this exciting talk on Change Event, a feature we first talked about at last year's summit. I'm Hadija Query on the product marketing team here at PagerDuty.
And hi, I'm Julia Nasser. I'm a product manager here at PagerDuty, and I lead our Change Events team. So thank you so much for joining us for this summit talk.
Since our last summit, we released a few features. So in this session, we'll share with you our vision for Change Events, how we'll help you identify the change you're looking for, as well as how it relates to our AI app strategy. And then finally, what's coming and how you can learn more so that you can start leveraging these important features. Julia, do you want to give us a brief rundown on what Change Events is?
So yeah, thanks, Hadija. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Change Events, they're a unique event in PagerDuty that allows you to send events such as infrastructure changes, deploys, and build completions in order to provide contextual information that is critical during incident triage.
So as many of you know, there is a scene in Star Wars with the famous "These aren't the droids you're looking for" line, where Obi-Wan tricks a couple of very hardworking stormtroopers who are totally just doing their jobs into thinking that the droids that are right in front of them are not, in fact, the droids they're looking for. In the heat of an incident response, you may feel like various Jedi are trying to control you as well. You're told to move along when what you're actually searching for might be right in front of you. For many organizations, there are a lot of changes happening. So knowing the most relevant change during your incident is crucial. So we at PagerDuty feel these stormtroopers and your pain. That's why we've built a set of features and partnership to help you find the change you're looking for, even if you're pointed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well said, Hadija. No Jedi mind tricks here. And while I'm sure most of our customers have solid deployment processes, in the case where an incident does happen, we want to make sure that we arm our customers with all the necessary information related to their changes so that we can point them in the right direction.
Plus, we'll also share the different areas and features that the team has been working on over the last few months.
Yes, a lot has changed, no pun intended, since the last summit. And our vision with Change Events is not only to give our customers and provide them with seamless integration, which we'll talk more about in a minute, but also to allow things like tracking with analytics so they can track their change events as well as their incidents. We'll apply machine learning so that we can look back in the history and provide more accurate and relevant correlations, and also support change events whether our customers are in the office or on the go.
So Change Event has gotten a lot of interest from our customers recently. Why do you think users are sending Change Event to PagerDuty instead of just using their old deployment tools to see this data?
Yeah, that's a great question, Hadija. I believe this quote really captures the essence of what a lot of organizations experienced in 2020. So in 2020, organizations were forced to become digital at a rate we had never seen before. And part of that digitization means more code, frequent code and infrastructure changes. I worked in healthcare before this, and I saw firsthand how these large hospital systems were required to rely on software at a rate we had never seen before for things like self-service check-in, digital registration, all the way to payments and billing. And part of that adoption means more frequent code changes to already complex systems. So this came at a time where for a lot of industries like healthcare, the stakes couldn't be higher.
That's so true. And I'm sure we're all familiar with that well-known statistic that 70 to 80% of incidents was due to some change that happened in their environment. So it makes complete sense why organizations would want to ensure that their teams have change event information in PagerDuty at their fingertips. Also, Change Event is key to our AI app strategy, where our goal is to help organizations reduce their MTTR. Plus, based on the State of DevOps study by Google and Dora, we know that elite performers are making more changes and having faster responses, which may seem counterintuitive.
Yeah, in a way it does seem counterintuitive, but as organizations become more sophisticated with their build and deployment processes, they're going to typically accompany this with things like more tracking, greater visibility, and just overall more mature processes. So most likely as organizations mature in these processes, they're going to feel more comfortable deploying more code. And hey, these are complex problems. And at PagerDuty, we're just trying to be one part of this maturation process, specifically with providing those change events during their incident response.
And speaking of organizations, let's talk about which integrations are available to them today. So we went out and surveyed our customers' most commonly used CI, CD, and deployment tools, and we support around 9 of those today, and that number is growing, and we certainly want to hear from our customers who think that there's something that we should add. We know that a lot of customers have complex architecture, and have built their own proprietary tool. So now that they've seen how great our change event feature is, there's also a solution for those customers who may not have one of those supported integrations, our custom change event transformer, which acts like an adapter.
Yeah, I love that analogy, Hadija. With our custom change event transformer, it really does act kind of like a universal adapter when you're traveling and you want to convert your power source. So very similar concept here. Our custom change event transformer is going to enable our customers, regardless of what their source tool is, to transform their change event from that tool into a change event understood by PagerDuty. So ideally, this is going to allow customers to start sending change events regardless of the tool that they use. So let's take a quick look at a demo that I'll walk you through. So you can see here in this demo, we're in our service directory. We're here on our integrations. We click to add an integration. We're going to title this My Custom Change Event Transformer. We're going to go ahead and select on the drop-down the Custom Change Event Transformer, which is now available. There's also some documentation here as well. So for those of you who want to read a little more, you'll be able to do that. And there we go. We've added our new custom event transformer. Okay, so now we come here and we look. We take a look at this JavaScript. This is what will get executed to PagerDuty when you send your custom change event to us and to this URL endpoint right here. So let's go ahead and copy that. Okay, let's send this. Okay, success. We have processed our first custom change event. So let's go back into PagerDuty. Let's go into the recent changes area. And we're going to see here that the custom change event transformer was successfully sent. And here we have some supporting information on the fields that you'll be able to send with your custom change event. And that's it. It's really that simple. So hopefully with this, all of our customers that want change events will be able to start leveraging it as soon as possible.
Thank you, Julia. That was a great demo. So now that we've covered how customers can start sending change event, let's talk about a feature they can start leveraging now. I know some of our team have been working on an AI feature called change correlation. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in the beginning, we talked about kind of the droids and making that analogy of not knowing what change event to look for. And today on the incident, we show a recent changes area, which shows a list of up to 3 changes. And with this release, we're going to be enhancing that with more contextual information that's going to help our responders understand why that change is relevant.
Yeah, so we base those on three key attributes: time, machine learning, and related service. So those are the 3 correlation types that we support today that will display as contextual information below the change event for the responder to understand why that particular change might be relevant. And then for the machine learning model, let's talk a bit more about how that works.
Yeah, so our ML model is a correlation model that looks at the frequency that certain changes occur in relation to incidents. So once it notices a strong correlation between a particular change event based on its title and its source, once it sees that change event happen with that incident, it's going to draw that correlation and let our users know with the text below it that says similar incidents have occurred with changes like this. And that's when you'll know that that's part of our ML detection. And so as with any ML model, the more data you send, the more likely you are to see recommendations. And so we want to encourage our customers when they integrate with us to send as many events as possible.
That's great advice. And so, also time is a strong indicator, because if an incident occurred, it's probably because something was changed recently. And so in relation to an incident, the more recent the change, the more likely it is to be a contributing factor.
Exactly. We all know that when teams get on a call, when there's an incident, one of the first questions that gets asked is what changed. So time is relevant. Related service is also relevant, because in the case where our responder is at their desk, they may not know what changes are getting deployed by, let's say, the team next to them. So in that case, related service is also going to be critical to our responders, so they have that visibility across their organization.
Yeah, so all of our customers will receive change correlation based on time. Our business plan customers will receive based on time and related service. Our EI and DigiOp customers will receive both of those, as well as the machine learning recommendation. Plus, we talked earlier about those elite performers as outlined in the State of DevOps report. So my guess is that those customers will want that information to track what's happening within their organization as much as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, so exactly, Hadija. We have heard this request from customers before, and we are considering this in the future. So back to that scary 70 to 80% statistic we hear so often, organizations want to track their change failure rate and improve that over time. So one thing you can imagine is that on our recent changes page, we would show which changes were correlated to an incident and allow the user to confirm that, or even confirm a change that may have not been correlated. And this is going to help with that change failure rate tracking.
And so speaking of our customers, what are some of the most common requests we've been hearing from them?
Yeah, so a couple areas of interest and things that we've been hearing from customers are things like, hey, sometimes I know a change is risky, and it's something we would like to send to you as an optional field so that our entire organization can see that in the case where an incident happens. So that's one thing we're considering. Another piece of information that we hear as well has been, could I send you state or status? So sometimes a change it may be a large migration, or there may be a change that's in progress. Again, if an incident happens, being able to see that state is also going to be critical information. So those are a couple areas that we're considering, but we definitely want to hear from our customers and hear more in terms of what are some areas that they would like to see in the product as it relates to change events.
So now that we've covered all the features that are already out, let's take a look at what's coming soon. Change Event is going mobile. I know many of us are living in a work where you are world, and I can imagine that if a responder is out at a basketball game or out for dinner, it would be very hard for them to access their deployment tools on their laptop.
Absolutely. Given that a lot of times our responders are on the go, surfacing critical information like change events becomes even more important. Now, maybe users could switch to some other app on their phone, but again, that just extends your time to resolution, and it also introduces unnecessary risk. So why would we want to do that when we could just show you right there on your PD mobile app what your recent changes are? So change events will be available in two areas on mobile. The first is on the incident itself, as well as the services area.
And will the change correlation we just talked about also be a part of the mobile experience?
Yes, change correlations will be available on mobile, and we definitely want our responders to have that information. So we are currently targeting a July release for change events. So whether you're already sending change events today or you're planning to after seeing this talk, be on the lookout. It's right around the corner.
So I know that related incidents is already available, and past incidents is coming soon, which is another AI-based feature, all of which is included in our Event Intelligence offering. This is great because now responders have all the information they need all in one place, wherever or whenever they need them. So now that you've seen all the features we have available for Change Event, we hope you won't be susceptible to any Jedi mind tricks, and that you have the information that you need to find the change that you're looking for where you need it. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you, Hadija. And for more information on change events, you can check out the link below at support.pagerduty.com/docs/change events. We look forward to seeing your change events soon. And thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at Summit.
Thank you.